Greetings and welcome to your destination. You reach the Psychological Wellness Hub. We aim to help you build your knowledge and wellness around better understanding mental health and psychological concepts. Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic will do a deep dive or expansion in part 2 of Obsessive Compulsive Personality Disorders. Please feel free to watch part 1 of the video on Obsessive Compulsive Personality Disorders introduction in this series, which prepares you for this video. The link for part 1 is below in the description. To learn more about specific personality disorders, please look at the description below for links or select that in the channel library or playlist on specific personality disorders to watch more about. Remember to stick around to the end of the video to get more answers and where to go or the next steps. Quick review. Can obsessive compulsive personality disorder disrupt your life? Yes. It can cause minor to extreme difficulties. It can impair several areas of your life, including social, work, school, responsibilities, goals, and sometimes legal problems. It can be short-lived to lasting many years, impairing the individual who is afflicted with this condition. Let's talk more about the symptoms of obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Obsessive compulsive personality disorder is a pervasive or persistent pattern of intense instability in social relationships, emotional restriction, general orientation towards orderliness, perfection, and a general preoccupation with the need for mental and social control at the expense of flexibility, openness, and efficiency. Individuals with this also experience difficulties in self-image and emotions. Please be aware that each person is unique and different in the way they experience their symptoms. Some people can have a certain set of symptoms, while others can have very different set of symptoms. Having said that, there are some general overlapping symptoms. If we take a look at those general symptoms, here are some things to consider. Do you get feedback about intense difficulties in relationships with significant people in your life or with strangers? Do you feel like they are making a big deal over nothing? Do you feel like they're being overly dramatic or irrational? Do you feel others frequently want from you what you feel or experience what they do, but you feel like emotions get in the way or clutter things? Do you see that there are better things to focus on that make people feel like that they're more in control? Things like safety, stability over time, things like rules, lists, order, organization, schedules. Do others tell you that you can't see the forest for the trees? Do you find comfort in rational thought? Do you see that emotions are overrated and useless to spend, too much time on? Do you find yourself being orderly and organized? Does this cause problems at times? Do others complain that you are being perfectionistic or like that something's wrong? Are you finding that it's hard to keep up the pace at times? Does that usual process, template, scheduler, or organizer work for you, but others, like bosses, coworkers, spouses, family members, complain about your routines? Do you find yourself to be a loyal, devoted, and hardworking person, and others don't appreciate or complain about it like there's something wrong with this? Do you find that this dedication makes things like having fun, outlets, and other things like they're trivial and like they're a waste of your time? Do you find other people in your life complain about this attitude? Do they say they feel like you never want to do anything, that you never want to go out or have fun? Do you find this annoying and a waste of your breath to spend further time discussing it? Do you find that with your sense of control, success, and satisfaction that maybe there are downsides at times? Do these routines wear you out at times or cause social problems with success? Do others describe or complain that you are controlling, perfectionistic, overly conscientious, scrupulous, inflexible, or fixed in your ways or patterns? Do you find that you are unable to get rid of or discard worn out or worthless objects or items at a level that causes you or others grief? These are generally items that have no sentimental value to you. Do you find that your way is the best way? That it's hard to let others help you or for you to delegate tasks to others? That you just do it so it's done right, done exactly the way it's supposed to be done or to your standards? Do others in your life complain that your standards or expectations are too high or unreachable? Do you find that when it comes to money, that it is something to be saved? You generally look at the money as a form of safety and control for rainy days or emergency. That this goes way beyond the average concern for this, or you get feedback from others concerned about this. Are you fiscally focused or fiscally conservative to a fault? Does this cause you problems emotionally, rationally, and socially? Do you hold personal, social, religious, theoretical, philosophical expectations, attitudes, or ideas, or thoughts that go beyond the average person? Do you find that others feel at times beneath you? Do you get so focused on thinking about things that it causes you consequences emotionally, socially, in your behavior? Do others refer to you at times as stubborn, rigid, selfish, bossy, a know-it-all, a pretty Betty, a Scrooge, a Grinch. I can imagine these are not easy to hear and can be painful to experience. Here are some cognitive thinking symptoms related to obsessive compulsive personality disorder. People will say things like, debts are for losers who can't discipline themselves. People are overrated. I think that people don't appreciate me for what I know. Is there anything more important than rules? Emotional symptoms, things like intense emotional restriction, indifference, pressure, stress, strain, worn out, overwhelmed, frustrated, irritable, heavy, entitled, burdened. Physical symptoms, things like rigid, tense, lots of internal pressure, body tension. Behavioral symptoms, things like pacing, fidgeting, routines, rigid, stoic behaviors, tempered, anal, perfectionistic, compulsive like social behaviors, socially intense behaviors, detail orientation, discipline to a fault, entitled actions or attitudes. Someone with obsessive compulsive personality disorder may try to avoid seeing their symptoms as problematic and might talk about life in this way. Feelings are overrated. I have to save it for a rainy day. Can't spend more than necessary. No, I'm not being stingy. I'm being fiscally responsible. And besides, presents and gifts are unnecessary. Stop being so dramatic. It's a flesh wound. We don't have the money for those stitches. What? Yeah, we have money, but it's not to be wasted on medical care or something trivial like that. Don't be absurd. Rules helps us have standards to follow. Life would be completely unhinged if we didn't have rules. A complete chaos, so you need to turn around and walk in between the lines at the crosswalk. No outside the lines walking. It must and should be done this way, and that is the only way. No, there's not more than one way to do it. It's the right way, and it's this way, and it's my way. Are these kids ever going to grow up? I mean, I know they're only 7, but they should have some common sense like us adults. I mean, come on already. I know that they're going to get some food, but I think all these people who do that are trying to cheat the system. Yeah, so I'm going to need you to get a grip already. If you think that way, you must be a complete imbecile. I mean, come on already. Where are all the smart and rational people of the world? Must you do that now? Have you lost your common sense or something? More on how others experience your obsessive compulsive personality disorder. While some people have the same experience of your symptoms, these experiences will vary with each person. Several of these were mentioned above, but here's some review and additional information. Others will experience you as someone who is obsessive, stingy, and cold. Others will complain about your adherence to rules, lists, orders, and inflexibility, and perceive you as inflexible. Others will complain that your emotions are dull, dried up, and that you seem to lack a good deal of empathy, that you don't understand them, that you will only see what you need, that you're robotic or stoic in your emotional weather. Others' concerns or feelings are meaningless to you. They mean as much to you as the stairs to the subway. You will often see others as dramatic, erratic, not tempered, or lacking control and rationality. Other important people in your life will complain about your righteousness of focus on feeling like you need to always be right. They will refer to you as acting or complaining in different situations like someone who is a Karen or a Ken. Maybe comparing you to other people who are heartless and lacking spontaneity. You will notice that others sometimes show at times respect and praise for your method, but also complain about your lack of productivity, completion, or complaints that they have heard from others that your behaviors or statements are problematic. What are some barriers to healing or recovery from obsessive compulsive personality disorder? What are the things that keep, the this particular personality disorder going? Here's a brief list of some barriers. Chronic hyperrationality or emotionally tempered activities, chronic avoidance, unaware of symptoms or need to problem solve, overanalyzing the situation or expecting others to constantly meet your standards, excessive restrictive behaviors or being overly miserly, rating how we feel in the moment as how we always feel, forgetting that we won't always feel this bad. Negative thinking is not bad, it can help us, but if it becomes the dominant focus by our choice, it can become problematic. Focusing too much on your weaknesses or areas of improvement, playing the judge, jury, and executioner of yourself and others, trying to escape through overcommitted behaviors to responsibility or over conscientiousness related to consequences for actions. Avoiding all emotions, preventing you from building your tolerance, constantly blaming and focusing on others is a way to avoid working or focusing on yourself. Avoiding learning more about or exploring your obsessive compulsive personality disorder and its origin. What does obsessive compulsive personality disorder look like? I'm going to read some examples of individuals with OCPD. Please note these are not real people, but their stories represent real scenarios. Listen while I tell you about their stories. Listen for the details of obsessive compulsive personality disorder and how it impacts different areas of their lives. Bob is a 25-year-old student with obsessive compulsive personality disorder. He is always tense, though tempered and calculating. He tries to connect with people, but will frequently get rejected after people really try to be his friend. Bob will connect with people and try to be the best friend possible with fellow students and coworkers. Bob will unfortunately take on this task or goal like it's a math problem or a business partnership. He tries to relate with others, but lacks any type of passion or intimacy that others generally require. He is almost like an android in the way that he relates to others or makes friends. Sometimes he comes on too strong, like a ruthless or bad slumlord. He comes off as cold and distant to others and lacks the ability to find common ground. Bob alternates from being disconnected emotionally from situations where that might be necessary. When others try to talk to him about something, Bob will say, "That's a waste of money. Surely you can come up with something more reasonable." Despite Bob's efforts and energy and his mind adapt to their liking and to avoid being too attached to them, he often makes offensive comments that others don't particularly like or care for. For example, one friend talks about wanting to feel better. Bob tells this person whom is overweight that he should lay off the donuts and proceed to give the person a speech on the ills this person puts on everybody else in the healthcare system. Another person at another event that Bob was talking to talked about wanting to save money but struggled. Bob responded to his comments. Bob said and talked about how only weak minded people struggle to save money. The individuals who struggle to save money don't have the discipline to follow the rules and the discipline necessary to complete the task. While the friend was offended, the friend mentioned how they were working to reduce their expenses and how they had some setbacks for medical bills. Bob responded to this by saying to this individual, "Great, not only do you punish all of us from being a financial idiot, but you also hit our wallets with your inability to pay your medical bills. That'll just fall on the rest of us." This made the individual feel quite small, inferior, and angry. This was the way Bob felt when his mother would tell him all the time that he was not good enough and a burden when Bob was a child to present day. Cindy is a woman in her 40s who has a long history of unstable relationships and alcoholism. She goes from man to man trying to have a relationship. Her insecurity and anger are often emotionally suppressed. She tells herself and shames herself for this emotional bubbling to the surface after a breakup. Cindy takes each relationship like getting a task completed on a checklist. She was that bossy kid in the classroom growing up telling everybody what to do. She does the same thing in relationships in her adult life. She tells her significant others how to live their lives and constantly on them about what they are doing wrong. She is oblivious to the impact of this and how her boyfriends grow tired of her being bossy and negative towards them. They grow tired of her doing the same to herself. She will focus on becoming preoccupied to the point of fear consuming her. She fears mistakes and will double and triple check all of her activities. Her significant others will come up with an idea about going to a place or to visit a restaurant, and Cindy will not go till she spends hours analyzing and researching how good the restaurant is. If her significant other voices, "Can we just go out and experience it, good or bad?" Cindy will be critical of them and say, "You will be sorry if we don't check." Her significant others will accuse her of being anal, and Cindy will become defensive and lean into her perfectionism even harder. Cindy seems like she is always trying to fill an impossible to fill hole within herself. At work, Cindy tries to be the boss and the favorite, and she tends to micromanage all of her coworkers. Cindy's friends often refer to her as being impossible. Bonnie is in her 50s. She will frequently engage in behaviors and double check she is right and has the right answer. This happens at work, with doing something for people in her life, with following the rules or laws of the state she lives in. Bonnie's friends will often invite her out, but she will usually decline remaining home with her cats, whom she finds great comfort with. She discusses how pets are sometimes better than people and how they come with less drama and emotional baggage. She discusses how she can't stand for someone to tell her their life story when she asks how they are doing. One time, Bonnie was in the movies with some friends, and a friend of a friend was waiting on the group next to Bonnie. It was common knowledge that this person's brother just passed away from cancer, so Bonnie was aware. Bonnie observed this person tearing up at times. Bonnie commented that this person should try to dry up those tears because they never solve anything. Bonnie goes on to lecture her how her emotions are overrated and make us weak as humans. Despite this woman beginning to cry, Bonnie asks in a disconnected manner if the woman needs to talk to a good cancer doctor, as she knows one. The woman who started crying at this point looked at Bonnie confused on why Bonnie asked that and said, "What?" Bonnie clarified to this woman, "Well, it's clear that you know you didn't save your brother. I'm assuming you'd want a better cancer doctor when you get it." This woman's face went flush and with tears running down her cheeks as she felt a rush of anger. Bonnie proceeded to lecture this woman on the genetic component linked to cancer and asked if her mother died of cancer as well. Bonnie has obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Seth has generalized anxiety disorder and obsessive compulsive personality disorder. He has many concerns and worries over many things. Seth has a lot of diffuse anxiety that is also part of his personality disorder and not his generalized anxiety disorder. Seth is very regimented and tempered in his behavior. He frequents to analyzing human experiences in his own, trying to eliminate any chance of being wrong and to always get things right. Because of this, Seth will work on projects and tasks much longer than the average person. His wife will complain about his obsessive and perfectionistic nature. She cites how he will show up late to things. Seth was late for his own wedding, but also late for his brother's wedding and his mother's funeral. His wife doesn't know that Seth secretly avoids his emotion and that he experiences the feelings of emotion as taxing. And he spends time, doing other things to avoid, connecting with his emotions. He thinks that this is a secret, but his wife experiences the collateral damage from it. She experiences him as distant emotionally and intimately. She describes him as a person who saves but never spends. She reports how he canceled a trip they had planned for a vacation at the last minute. He told her the tickets were too expensive. She reminded him that he chose to budget the tickets way in advance to save money and that he was okay with that and that they had followed what he wanted to do. Seth then claimed that the safety rating for this airline was not up to par and it wasn't worth taking the risk. She then took Seth to the office where she pointed out all the planning that he had committed to up on the board. She confronted him with the maps on the wall that had the airline flight route, the pins, and the red yarn diagrammed on the wall. She pointed out all the excessive notes and piles of paperwork on what to do and their destination. She pointed out all the demanding schedule he made for them to follow on the trip where they had little time to rest. Seth's wife finds him to be stubborn, hell bent on doing things his way, kind of a my way or the highway attitude. Seth will often get defensive with these comments and will call his wife irrational, unhinged, and dramatic. We hope you found today's topic was useful to yourself or someone else. Let us know by commenting below. Let us know what you'd like to hear about or what topics could be useful to you by commenting below, and we'll take it under consideration. If you like what you heard today and would like to hear more from Destination Psychological Wellness Hub, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel by selecting the subscribe button at the bottom of this page and by clicking the thumbs up. This will help you get the newest content produced by the channel to you. Please tell all your friends and family about this channel or share this and other videos with them on the channel. Encourage them too to like and subscribe. And as always, we hope your psychological wellness continues to grow with us in this community. Thank you.